The clash of pantheons has long fascinated scholars, mythologists, and enthusiasts of ancient cultures. Among the most intriguing comparisons is that between Odin, the Allfather of Norse mythology, and Zeus, the king of the Greek gods. Both figures loom large in their respective mythologies, wielding immense power and commanding the respect of gods and mortals alike. But is one truly more powerful than the other? To answer this question, we must delve deep into the myths, legends, and cultural contexts that shape these divine figures. Odin, also known as Wotan, Woden, or Woden, is the chief god of the Norse pantheon. He is associated with wisdom, healing, death, royalty, the gallows, knowledge, war, battle, victory, sorcery, poetry, frenzy. In the runic alphabet, his multifaceted nature reflects the complex society of the Norse people, who valued both intellect and martial prowess. Zeus, on the other hand, is the sky and thunder god in ancient Greek religion, who ruled as king of the gods of Mount Olympus. He was respected as an all-father who was chief of the gods and assigned roles to the others. His name is cognate with the first element of his Roman equivalent Jupiter. Zeus was the child of Cronus and Rhea, the youngest of his siblings to be born, though sometimes reckoned the eldest as the others required disgorging from Cronus's stomach. To compare these two powerful deities, we must consider several aspects of their mythologies and cultural significance. 1. Origins and rise to power. Odin's origin story is less clear-cut than that of Zeus. In Norse mythology, Odin is one of the first gods, born from the union of the primordial frost giant Bor and the giantess Bestla. He and his brothers, Vili and Ve, slew the primordial giant Ymir and used his body to create the world. This act established Odin and his kin as the ruling gods, displacing the earlier generation of giants. Zeus, in contrast, had a more dramatic rise to power. He was the youngest son of the titans Cronus and Rhea. Cronus, fearing a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, swallowed each of his offspring upon birth. Rhea, unwilling to lose another child, tricked Cronus by giving him a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes instead of the infant Zeus. When Zeus grew to adulthood, he forced Cronus to disgorge his siblings and led a war against the Titans, ultimately overthrowing them and establishing the reign of the Olympian gods. In terms of their rise to power, Zeus's story is more epic and decisive. He directly overthrew the previous ruling generation, while Odin's ascension seems more gradual and less confrontational with his predecessors. 2. Domains and responsibilities. Odin's domains are numerous and varied. He is the god of wisdom, poetry, war, death, divination, and magic. This breadth of influence reflects the Norse value of versatility and the interconnectedness of different aspects of life. Odin is often depicted as a wanderer, disguising himself to gain knowledge and test mortals. His quest for wisdom is legendary, exemplified by his sacrifice of an eye to drink from Mimir's well of knowledge and his ordeal of hanging himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and nights to gain the knowledge of runes. Zeus, while also a multifaceted deity, is primarily associated with the sky, thunder, lightning, justice, law, and order. As the king of the gods, he maintains cosmic order and dispenses justice. Unlike Odin, Zeus is not typically associated with wisdom or magic, though he is known for his cunning in myths. The difference in their domains reflects the values and concerns of their respective cultures. The Norse, living in a harsh northern environment, valued wisdom and practical knowledge alongside martial prowess. The Greeks, with their more established city-states, emphasized concepts of law, order, and civic justice. 3. Personality and moral character. Odin is often portrayed as complex and morally ambiguous. He is wise but also cunning and sometimes deceitful. He values knowledge above all else and is willing to go to extreme lengths to acquire it. Odin is known for his strategic thinking, often sacrificing short-term gains for long-term benefits. He is also associated with berserkers and the wild frenzy of battle. Zeus, while powerful and just, is often depicted as capricious and prone to human-like failings, particularly in his romantic pursuits. His numerous affairs with goddesses and mortal women are a significant part of Greek mythology. While he upholds cosmic order, his personal behavior is often at odds with the ideals of justice he represents. In terms of moral character, Odin might be seen as more consistent, albeit in a morally gray area. His actions, while sometimes ruthless, usually serve a greater purpose. Zeus, despite his role as a dispenser of justice, often acts on personal whims and desires. 4. Relationships with other gods and mortals. Odin's relationships with other gods are complex. He is respected and feared by most, but also engages in complex political maneuverings within the Norse pantheon. His relationship with Loki, the trickster god, is particularly nuanced, alternating between friendship and enmity. With mortals, Odin often takes a personal interest, disguising himself to test their wisdom or valor, and selecting worthy warriors to join him in Valhalla. Zeus, as king of the gods, maintains a more hierarchical relationship with both gods and mortals. He rules over the other Olympians, who both respect and sometimes resent his authority. His interactions with mortals are often driven by personal desires or the need to maintain cosmic order, rather than a quest for knowledge or testing of worth. 5. Mythological feats and powers. Odin's most significant feats often revolve around his quest for knowledge and his preparations for Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the world. He sacrificed his eye for wisdom, hung himself on Yggdrasil to learn the runes, and created the Valkyries to gather fallen warriors for the final battle. His magical powers are extensive, including shapeshifting, telepathy, and the ability to travel between worlds. Zeus's feats are more often displays of raw power. He overthrew the Titans, battles the monster Typhon, and frequently intervenes in mortal affairs with dramatic displays of lightning and thunder. His ability to shapeshift is often used in his romantic pursuits rather than for gaining knowledge. 6. Cultural impact and worship. The worship of Odin was widespread among Germanic peoples, including the Norse, Anglo-Saxons, and continental Germanic tribes. His influence can be seen in modern-day names. Wednesday is derived from Woden's Day, and in the enduring fascination with Norse mythology and popular culture. Zeus, as the chief god of one of the most influential ancient civilizations, has had a profound and lasting impact on Western culture. Greek mythology, with Zeus at its center, has inspired countless works of art, literature, and philosophy throughout history. 7. Fate and prophecy. One of the most significant differences between Odin and Zeus lies in their relationship to fate. In Norse mythology, even the gods are subject to fate. Odin knows through prophecy that he will die at Ragnarok, devoured by the wolf Fenrir. Much of his actions throughout mythology can be seen as preparations for this final battle. Zeus, in contrast, is not bound by such a fate. While Greek mythology includes prophecies, they do not foretell an inevitable end for Zeus or the other Olympian gods. This fundamental difference reflects the differing worldviews of the Norse and Greek cultures. 8. Symbolism and iconography. Odin is often depicted as an old man with one eye, wearing a cloak and a wide-brimmed hat, and carrying a spear named Gungnir. He is accompanied by various animal companions, including 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, Thought and Memory, and 2 wolves, Jerry and Freki. These symbols emphasize his roles as a wanderer, a seeker of knowledge, and a connection to the natural world. Zeus is typically portrayed as a regal, bearded man, often holding a thunderbolt. His animal associations include the eagle and the bull. These symbols underscore his role as a sky god and his regal authority. The differences in their iconography reflect the values and environments of their respective cultures. Odin's symbols speak to a culture that valued wisdom and had a close connection to nature, while Zeus's imagery emphasizes power and authority. 9. Influence on human affairs. Odin's influence on human affairs is often subtle and indirect. He is known to wander the world in disguise, testing humans and imparting wisdom. He values those who seek knowledge and show courage. In many myths, he aids heroes indirectly, providing advice or magical items rather than directly intervening. Zeus, on the other hand, frequently intervenes directly in human affairs. He punishes those who displease him with thunderbolts and rewards those he favors. His interactions with humans are often more straightforward and based on immediate cause and effect. 10. Cosmic role. Odin's role in the cosmos is intrinsically tied to the concept of Ragnarok, the prophesied end and rebirth of the world. He gathers fallen warriors in Valhalla to prepare for this final battle. This gives Norse mythology a cyclical nature, with Odin playing a crucial role in both the current world order and its eventual renewal. Zeus's cosmic role is more about maintaining the current order. As king of the gods, he ensures the stability of the universe and the proper functioning of natural laws. Unlike Odin, he is not preparing for an inevitable cosmic upheaval. Conclusion. So, is Odin more powerful than Zeus? The answer is not straightforward and depends largely on how we define power. In terms of raw, physical might and authority over other gods, Zeus might be considered more powerful. He rules supreme over the Greek pantheon, and his ability to hurl thunderbolts makes him a formidable force in direct confrontation. However, Odin's power lies in his wisdom, foresight, and magical abilities. His influence is more subtle but potentially far-reaching. He shapes events through knowledge and strategy rather than brute force. Moreover, Odin's willingness to sacrifice for knowledge and his acceptance of his own prophesied doom lend him a different kind of strength, one of character and purpose that Zeus, with his capricious nature, doesn't quite match. Ultimately, comparing these two gods is like comparing apples and oranges. They are products of different cultures with different values and worldviews. Odin embodies the Norse ideals of wisdom, cunning, and the acceptance of fate, while Zeus represents Greek concepts of cosmic order, justice, and supreme authority. Rather than asking which god is more powerful, perhaps the more interesting question is what these figures reveal about the cultures that created them. Odin and Zeus, in their similarities and differences, offer us a window into the minds and hearts of the ancient Norse and Greek peoples. They show us what these cultures valued, feared, and aspired to. In the end, the power of these gods lies not in their mythical abilities, but in their enduring impact on human culture and imagination. Both Odin and Zeus continue to captivate us thousands of years after their worship ceased, testament to the enduring power of myth and the human need to understand the world through stories of beings greater than ourselves. As we continue to study and reinterpret these ancient myths, we gain not only a better understanding of our ancestors but also of ourselves. The questions of power, wisdom, justice, and fate that these gods embody are still relevant today. In this sense, perhaps the true power of Odin and Zeus lies in their ability to make us reflect on our own values, choices, and place in the cosmos.